Hello everyone, welcome to Time Classes. Today's topic is mensuration and this is part 2 of this topic. In the last class we have discussed the mensuration of 2D figures where for very basic 2D figures such as a circle sector we have found out the area of the sector and the length of an arc. In addition we have then moved on to the mensuration of 3D figures which is a cuboid, cube, cylinder, cone, sphere, and hemisphere. We have looked at their respective formulae for volume, curved surface area, and total surface area. And we have understood that the curved surface area is perimeter of base into height, and is area of base into height. The handout that we will be using is QCT 3532007. And for you all to get the most out of this class, I suggest that you have a copy on your side for some quick calculations and questions on it. Also, please note down everything that is part of the solution that is mentioned in the slide so that you are all comfortable and it is clear what we are learning. So with that, let us begin. This is question 7 from your handout. A solid sphere of diameter 35 centimeters is cut into two halves. Find the total surface area of each part. Please take 30 seconds to solve this. Okay. So cut a sphere into two halves. What do you get a hemisphere? And we have seen that the total surface area of the hemisphere is 3 pi r square. And that's all you have to calculate, where the diameter is 35. So if diameter is 35, that means radius will be 35 divided by 2. So you get 3 into 22 divided by 7 into 35 by 2 whole square. And when you solve this, you will get your answer as 2887.5 centimeters square. That is choice number 2. I hope this is all right. So let's move to the next question. This is question number 9 from your handout. Please solve this carefully. It is asking for how many liters of oil can be filled in a cylinder with base circumference 88 centimeters and height 16 centimeters. So first you need to know what do you need to find out, what all do you need to find out, and what is the question asking for. Question is asking for liters of oil. Please take 30 seconds for this question. Okay. When you are filling oil into a cylinder, basically you are creating a volume. So we need to find out the volume of the cylinder. We know that volume of cylinder is pi r square h, where the height is already given to you. And the base perimeter given to you is 88. So 2 pi r is equal to 88, the base circumference. and that gives you the value of r. So 2 into pi becomes 44 divided by 7. So 44 will cancel out 88 to give you 2. R divided by 7 is equal to 2. That means r is equal to 40 centimeters. So now you can find the volume of the cylinder because you have the radius as well as the height. And you get pi r square h, 22 by 7 into 14 into 14 into 16 centimeter cube. Actually, these answer options are not very good. A better way to give the answer options would have been, first I would have given 9856 as an answer option, so that if a student gets 9856, then they quickly, and they are in a hurry to move to the next question, then they quickly mark it and move forward. 9856 is centimeter cube, whereas the question is asking for liters of oil. So what you need to know is that 1 centimeter cube is equal to 1 milliliter. 1000 centimeter cube is equal to 1 liter. So that means that 1 centimeter cube is 1 by 1000 liters. So 9856 centimeter cube is 9856 divided by 1000 liters, which is 9.856 liters. That is option number 2. So probably you would get lucky in this question because the answer options are not smartly given. But the lesson from this question is that you have to pay attention to what you need to calculate. I will repeat this question. We need the volume of the cylinder in liters, and for volume we need radius and height. Height is already given. Radius can be obtained from the base perimeter that is given to us. So we get the volume in centimeter cube, and using the relation between centimeter cube and liters, I get the answer as 9.856 liters after dividing by 1000. So let's move to the next question. Please solve this carefully. Know what you need to find out. Please take 30 seconds. Okay, let's solve. So we are given the area of the floor of a tent. What is the floor of a tent? It's a circle. So we are given pi r square equal to 616. We are also given its height, the height of the tent. So a tent looks something like this. Yes. So the base is a circle, that's pi r square, and the height is 2 root 15. So find the area of the canvas required for the tent. Where will you put the canvas? You will put the canvas around the tent, and that is its curved surface. So what you need to find here is the area of the curved surface, and that is pi rl. So r can be found out from this particular value, and L is also what you need to calculate. So the area of the base is pi r square, which is 616. So you get r square as a value whose units are feet square. That's what this item is telling us, that the units are feet square. So we get the value of r as square root of 28 into 7, and that turns out to be square root of 196, which is 14 feet. So now I have the radius, I have the height, I need the slant height. And I know the relation for slant height, that is L square equal to h square plus r square. So slant height L is equal to square root of 14 square plus 2 root 15 square. 14 square is 196 and 2 root 15 is 15 into 4, 60. So 196 plus 60 is 256. Square root of that is 16 feet. And therefore the canvas required becomes pi into r into L, which is pi into 14 into 16. That is 704 square feet. I'll explain this one more time. This becomes a medium level question because of the more number of steps that you have to calculate. It's not difficult, but it will take time. You have to calculate radius, that will take time, from pi r square. Then you have to calculate slant height using the formula L square equal to h square plus r square. That will take some time. And then you have to put it in the final formula for canvas required, which is pi r L, to get the final answer. So this is again a medium level question. It's not a difficult question, but since there are more number of steps involved, the time requirement is larger. Please write all this down. And let's move to the next question. Area of base of a cone is given, height is given, find the volume and the curved surface area. I also want you to decide first, what should you calculate? If you have to calculate these two things, what should you calculate first? Please take 30 seconds. Okay. Why did I say that decide when to calculate first? How does it matter? Because you have to do both. The reason for that is, imagine that you are giving the exam and this question comes together. This is two answers, so 2 plus 3 plus 3. And you have only 1 minute left. Now, one of these can be calculated very quickly, but the other one will take time. If you pay attention to what can be calculated quickly, then it can be solved in that last 1 minute. But if you think that it doesn't matter, then you will waste your time. You will not be able to solve this one, curved surface area, because curved surface area needs pi r L, as we saw in the previous question. And we don't have R and we don't have L. Both are unknown. Whereas when I want to find out the volume of a cone will be 1 by 3 pi r square h. When pi r square is given, h is given, so you can directly get to the answer. For curved surface area, you have two very unknown values. For volume, you have no unknown values. So if you pay attention to what you need to calculate, within 1 minute you have one correct answer. And that is what we will do. The area of the base is pi r square. Okay, let me show you the complete thing. Yes, let's look at the volume part first. Volume is 1 by 3 pi r square h. Pi r square is 154, h is 24. And do you see, in one single step we got the answer? Now look at the number of steps for the second part. Step number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 steps versus 1 step. That is why it was important for you to understand what should you calculate first. Now let's see. We need pi r L. So first we find out pi r square equal to 154. That means r square is 49. That means r square is 49. Now slant height L square is equal to h square plus r square, where r square is 49 and h is 24. So I get slant height as square root of 7 square plus 49 is written as 7 square. 49 plus 576, that is 625. Square root of 625 is 25. So the curve surface area pi RL becomes pi 22 by 7 into the radius 7 into the slant height 25, which is 550 centimeters square. And that is your answer. So this was a very good question where I was able to tell you a little more about how to solve questions. Both are single step questions, pi r square and pi r, but pi r square h and pi r l. But in the first case, you already have pi r square as well as h given to you, and in the second case, you need to calculate both. So that is the lesson from this question. Let's proceed to the next question. I hope you have noted all this down. Please take 10 seconds. Okay. We have done one question related to melting. So comes another question. This is question 18 from your handout. A spherical copper ball of radius 2 centimeters is melted and drawn into a wire of radius 1 millimeters. Find the length of the wire in meters. Please note the units. Copper ball has unit centimeters. Wire has radius millimeters. Find length of wire in meters. Please pay attention to the units. Take 30 seconds. Okay, let's solve. So can I say that the volume of the ball will be equal to the volume of the wire? But what is a wire? Just imagine any wire. It's going to be a cylinder. So the volume of the sphere is going to be equal to the volume of the cylinder. Let me show you with a diagram. Let the length of the wire be x centimeters. This is supposed to be 1 millimeter. The wire is a cylinder of radius 1 millimeters, and the spherical ball is of radius 2 centimeters. So the volume of the sphere should be equal to the volume of the wire. What is the volume of a sphere? 4 by 3 pi r cube. That will become 4 by 3 pi into 2 cube. And what is the volume of a cylinder? Pi r square h, where r is given as 1 millimeters. Now, since I took 2 centimeters on the right hand side, the radius in the wire should also be in centimeters. 1 centimeter is equal to 10 millimeters. So 1 millimeter will be equal to 1 by 10 centimeters. So I get pi into 1 by 10 whole square into the length of the wire is equal to the volume of the sphere. That's all. Here I will get the value of x in centimeters, whereas the question is asking for it in meters. So I get x equal to 4 by 3, pi gets cancelled out. This is 8, 4 by 3 into 8 into 100 centimeters. To convert centimeters to meters, I will remove this 100 and get 32 by 3 meters. and then convert to mixed fraction because all my answers are in mixed fractions to get 10 2 by 3 meters. How do you convert it into a mixed fraction? You can look at the reverse. 3 into 10, 30 plus 2, 32 divided by 3. It's the same. And if you were going in the reverse order, 32 divided by 3 gives you a quotient of 10 and a remainder of 2. So you get quotient, remainder, divisor. That's how you write a mixed fraction. 10 2 by 3 meters. I hope this is fine. Volume of wire is equal to volume of sphere. Put everything into 1 units. Then look at what units is the question asking for. And then you get the answer as 10 2 by 3 meters. Please write this down. Okay. This is question number 15 from your handout. Find the length of the longest diagonal in a cuboid. And we have already discussed the formula for this. So please take 15 seconds for this question. Okay. So we saw that the length of the longest diagonal in a cuboid is root of L squared plus B squared plus H squared. The dimensions are already given to you. So the longest diagonal will be root of 24 square plus 10 square plus 4 square. That's 576 plus 100, 676 plus 16, 692. Square root of 692 is square root of 4 into 173, and that is 2 root 173. Let's move to the next question. This question is not in your handout. Please read it carefully. A metallic cube is melted and then smaller identical balls are created. Find the number of balls. Please take 30 seconds. Okay, let's solve. Obviously, the volume will remain the same. Volume of the cube is equal to the volume of the balls. Let there be n balls. And each of these n balls is a sphere. So the volume of the sphere is 4 by 3 pi r cube. So n into 4 by 3 pi 7 cube should be equal to the volume of the cube. Cube of side A. So I get A cube, side of the cube is A, volume of the cube is A cube equal to n into 4 by 3 pi r cube. So 154 cube is equal to n into 4 by 3 pi into 7 cube. And simply simplify this to get the answer as 2541. Did anyone get 2541? You have to solve very, very quickly because this is a single step question, and obviously 30 seconds is too less to solve, but it gets you into the habit of solving very, very quickly. It will be helpful for you in your exam. You have all the formulae in front of you. You simply need to decide what is happening, which formula do I need, look at the formula and solve. Okay, try to solve quickly. Let's move to the next question. This is a typical CBSE kind of question. A toy is a hemisphere surmounted by a cone. Radius of hemisphere is 3, height of toy is 10. Find the volume of the toy. Please take 30 seconds. Okay, so what does the figure look like? It's a hemisphere surmounted by a cone. And the radius of the hemisphere is r, and the height of the cone, let's say, is h. And you are given height of the toy as 10 and radius as 3. So when this length is 3, then this length will also be 3. Yes. What will be the total volume of this figure? It will be volume of the hemisphere plus the volume of the cone. And what is the total height of the toy? It is h plus r. Please write down in your copy. Height of toy equal to 10 equal to h plus r equal to h plus 3. And so you get the height of the cone h equal to 10 minus 3, that is 7 centimeters. I'll just repeat this. This whole length is h plus r, h plus r. So h plus r is 10. And r is 3. So that means height of cone is 7. So now for the cone, you have the height also, you have the radius also, you can find the volume. And for the hemisphere, you have the radius, so you can find the volume. So volume of the toy is volume of hemisphere plus volume of the cone. So 2 by 3 pi r cube plus 1 by 3 pi r square h, where r is 3 and h is 7. And we solve this, simplified to get the answer as 39 pi. Now some of you must be wondering, how come the answer is in terms of pi? If you have a fill in the blanks kind of question, then of course you cannot write 39 pi. But probably for this question, answer choices were given and all were in terms of pi. So you have to calculate the answer in terms of pi. So the answer is 39 pi. Shall I explain this again? No? Okay. A slightly difficult question. You have a cylindrical vessel. It is half filled with water. A sphere is dropped into the vessel. Find the rise in the height of the water. Please take 30 seconds to think about what you would do for this question. Okay, let's solve. Now, you have a cylindrical vessel. You put a ball inside, it goes down to the bottom. The volume of the level of the water is going to rise now a little bit because of the sphere. And can I say that if there was this much volume inside the vessel, then the rise in the volume is also going to be a cylinder? If you already have a cylinder, let's say you have an empty cylinder. In that empty cylinder, if you pour some water, then you get small mini cylinders being formed. When it is half filled with water, that is also a cylinder. The volume of water, the shape of the water is a cylinder. If it is 3/4 filled with water, the shape of the water is a cylinder. If it is fully filled with water, the shape of the water is a cylinder. So if I put in a sphere, then that volume of water obtained, that is being replaced by the volume of the sphere, it will be a mini cylinder. Is that fine? I put a sphere inside, the volume rises, just only consider that the volume rises by this much height. So this much water is there inside the vessel. So that water has the shape of a cylinder because it's inside a cylinder. आपका जैसा भी कोई ग्लास होता है, आप जब उसमें पानी डालते हो, it takes the shape of the glass. If the glass is one of those wine kind of glasses, it takes that shape. If it is a beer glass, it takes that shape. So when you put it into a cylindrical vessel, then the rise in the water level will be the shape of the cylinder. So the volume of that cylinder will be equal to the volume of the sphere. That's all. Volume of the sphere is equal to the volume of the new cylinder that has formed. So what is the volume of the sphere? 4/3 pi1 cube. And what is the volume of the cylinder that has formed now? Pi into radius square into height by which the water has increased. That's all. Pi gets cancelled out and you get 4/3 divided by 100. So you get 4/300, which is 1/75 centimeters. The volume rise in the level of the water is 1/75 centimeters. This is coming from the Archimedes principle, that basically Archimedes was once very tired and he sat down inside his bathtub, and then he saw that when he sat inside, the volume of the water increased and it was simply displaced by his own volume. So that is the concept being used here. The volume of water displaced inside the vessel is simply the volume of the sphere. So you have the volume of the sphere, which is the volume of water, which is equal to the volume of the mini cylinder that has formed of radius 10 and height h. Good question. This is a good question. Let's move to the next question. I think we have already solved this question. Okay, now let's move. Okay, this is a very practical question. A roller is 8 meters long with a diameter of 0.7 meters. It takes 1000 rotations to level a road. Have you seen road leveling happening any time in your city? What is it called? You can call it a road roller. It's not a bulldozer, because a bulldozer is a different thing and it moves to carry away or move away heavy objects. This is a road roller. It takes that material used for making a road, and then a different machine is used to put that on the road, and then a road roller is used for leveling. So what is the shape of the roller? It takes 1000 rotations to level a road. cost of using the roller is 2 rupees per square meters. Find the cost of leveling. Please take 30 seconds to solve this question. Okay, let's solve. A roller is a cylinder. The cylinder has a height given as 8 meters and a diameter of 0.7 meters. That's a radius of 0.7 by 2 meters. Now, what do you need? In one rotation, what part is covering the road? In one rotation, the curved surface area of the roller is covering the road. So in one rotation, curved surface area you have to find out. In 1000 rotations, curved surface area you have to find out. Yes. So curved surface area is given as 2 pi RH. That's 2 pi into 0.35 into 8. So in one rotation, the roller covers 17.6 meters square. So in 1000 rotations, how much distance will it cover? Into 1000, that is 17,600 meters square. So the roller has covered 17,600 meters square in 1000 rotations, and the cost of using the roller is 2 rupees per square meter. So for 17,600 square meters, what will be the cost? 2 into 17,600, that is 35,200 rupees is the cost of leveling the road. Please write this down. It's a wonderful question because it's such a practical exam. You want to do some road leveling. For that, the curved surface area is used, and in one rotation, we find that 2 pi RH is 17.6 meters square. In 1000 rotations, the roller covers 17,600 meters square. So the cost for this, for covering this area, becomes 17,600 into 2. Okay, let's move to the next question. A solid is in the form of a cylinder surmounted by a cone. So this question is similar to the toy question. Diameter of the cone is 28. Height of the cylinder is 16. Height of the conical part is 10. Find the volume of the solid. Very straightforward question. Please calculate it quickly. Okay, let's solve. So basically, volume of the solid will be volume of cylinder plus volume of cone. The volume of cylinder is pi r square h, where you are given the height of the cylindrical part as 16, and the diameter of the cone is given as 28. That means radius of cone will be 14. And since the cylinder is surmounted by the cone, the radius of the cone is equal to the radius of the cylinder. So we get pi r square h, that's pi 14 square into 16, plus the volume of the cone as 1 by 3 pi r square h, that's 14 square into 10. To solve this, simplify it a little bit to get the answer approximately as 11,909 centimeter cube. Very straightforward question. This is just addition of volume of the toys. Okay, let's move to the last question for today. Slightly tricky question. Radius of a right cylinder increases by 20%, height decreases by 10%. Find the percentage increase in each volume. Please take 30 seconds. Okay. Now, in case you are getting confused what is the right cylinder, you don't need to worry. Any question that you are given related to a cylinder is the right cylinder. So, what is the volume of a cylinder? Square inch. What is the increase in the radius? 20%. So that means increases 20 by 100 times of r. And what is the increase in height? 10r by 100. That. So what is the new volume now? Pi into r plus 0.2r whole square into h minus 0.1 h. What is the new volume? Pi into new radius into new square into new height. Let me repeat. Pi into square of new radius into new height. What is the new radius? 1.2r. What is the new height? 0.9 h. So I get pi into 1.44 r square into 0.9 h. That gives me 1.296 pi r square h. So the original volume was pi r square h and the new volume is 1.296 pi r square h. And we need to find out the percentage increase in its volume. Now in percentages you would have learned how do you find out the change in volume. It is new volume minus old volume divided by old volume into 100. New volume minus old volume divided by old volume into 100. So you get pi r square h will get cancelled out. You will get 1.296 minus 1 into 100. That's 0.296 into 100. That is 29.6%. What makes this a difficult question is because it has used two concepts. So not only do you need to know your mensuration, the formula of a cylinder, you also need to know your percentages and how to find out the percentage change. And this makes it a very, very good question because it is combining two documents. Please write this down. I have the original volume. I find out the increase in radius, decrease in height, and so I find out the new radius, new height. Therefore, I get the new volume. Percentage increases new minus old divided by old into 100. With this, we finish today's topic. We have discussed a variety of questions related to 3D figures, and you can simply solve your essay booklet for more practice. The only thing you need to know is the formula that we have discussed for the 6 figures: cuboid, cube, cylinder, cone, sphere, hemisphere. You need to know their volume, curve surface area, total surface area, and the question will be very straightforward. So thank you for your time. And if there is any way in which I can improve this lecture for you all, please put it into the chat queries. I would love to hear from you all.